Delphinium is expecting a visitor from town today, and the new gardener should have tidied the garden, but he didn't turn up, so Berry offered to lend a hand. "Well, it's all done," said Berry. "I'm sure your visitor will be very comfortable." "I hope so," replied Delphinium. "But it's very difficult to know the likes and dislikes of someone you haven't met." "Fancy having a visitor you don't know," said Berry, surprised. "Well, I do know his family," said Delphinium. "They lived here before moving to the town garden." "Where is town?" "Well, I'm not really sure. Anyway, they sent a message asking if Pampas could have a holiday in the country. And you agreed? That's good. I'll come by tomorrow and meet this Pampas," said Berry. "Bye-bye." "Excuse me, are you Delphinium?" "I am," she cried, "and I'm so glad to meet you." "Oh, thank you. Sorry I'm late." "Oh, not at all," cried Delphinium. "Now, how's your family?" "My family? Oh, very well, thanks." "Good. Now you must be exhausted after your journey," said Delphinium. "Take a rest in the shade before you do anything." "But I'm not tired." "Oh, I'm sure you're just being polite," replied Delphinium. "You must have a little rest. Sit down there." "I'd rather not." But Delphinium insisted. "Oh." "Psst, I say, has your guest arrived yet?" asked Butterbur. "Yes," whispered Delphinium. "Pampas is resting after his journey." "Good. I'll come and see him later." "Goodbye." "Bye." Butterbur decided to pass the time by waiting in a nearby field, when something caught his eye. "Whatever is that?" cried Butterbur. "Is this Windfall land?" asked the stranger. Yes," said the surprised Butterbur. "What do you want here?" "Delphinium," declared the stranger. "I'm Pampas." "But he's already here," exclaimed Butterbur. "Impossible. I'm Pampas." Butterbur was in a dilemma. "Then there must be two of you, then." "There can't be." "Well, Delphinium will have to sort this out." "Come on," cried Butterbur. "I'll show you the way." "Delphinium," began Butterbur hesitantly, "I know Pampas has arrived, but I've brought you another one." "Another Pampas?" she exclaimed. "There must be a mistake. The real Pampas is over there." "I'm not Pampas. I'm Foxgloves the gardener." "Why didn't you say so before?" exclaimed Delphinium. "Oh!" "I did try," cried the gardener. Suddenly Delphinium realized her mistake. "I'm so sorry. Can you come tomorrow instead?" "Pampas, forgive this mix-up," said Delphinium. "You are very welcome." "Thank you very much," replied the real Pampas. "Well, I'll go now," said Butterbur, "and give you a chance to get to know each other. I'll be back at 4. "When will that be?" asked Pampas. "I left my watch at home. I can't tell the time without it." "We don't use watches here. The sun tells us the time." "The sun? How?" "I can see we're going to have to teach you a lot about Windfall land," said Delphinium. "For instance, the sun directly overhead means it's midday." And Pampas realized that life in Windfall land was going to be very different from life in his town garden. one thing the Windfalls enjoy, it's a picnic. Today is picnic day, and Delphinium has made a special cake. Thank you, Delphinium. We're all looking forward so much to this picnic, said Pampas. Well, I hope it doesn't rain, replied Delphinium. It won't rain, said Pampas confidently. The weather looks fine. Off you go then, said Delphinium, and take good care of the cake. When Pampas arrived to collect Berry and Butterbur, he found them sheltering. Aren't you ready for the picnic? He asked. Delphinium's baked us a special cake. We're coming when the rain has stopped, said Berry. But it's not raining, protested Pampas. It will soon. Look. Low-flying swallows, rain always follows. Didn't you know that? Said Berry. No, I didn't, said Pampas, and I don't believe it anyway. It's a perfect day for a picnic. I'm off to meet Uncle Onion. But you must take shelter, insisted Berry. Or Delphinium's cake will be ruined, cried Butterbur. But Pampas wasn't listening. It's time for the picnic, Uncle Onion, cried Pampas. We'll be late. Picnic or no picnic, that cake will be spoiled by the rain, warned Uncle Onion. I keep telling everyone it's not going to rain, repeated Pampas. But daisies know better, insisted Uncle Onion. There's an old saying, Pampas, the daisy is a weather vane, with petals closed it could mean rain. Well, said Pampas irritably, if nobody wants to come, I shall picnic on my own. And I'll tell you something else, continued Uncle Onion. Look out for singing blackbirds with their tails down. Oh, why's that? Teased Pampas. Oh, you'll find out one day. Perhaps sooner than you think. When Pampas arrived at the meadow, it seemed a perfect day for a picnic. As he was about to take a slice of cake, he realized he had company. Pampas was thoughtful. Oh, what was that Uncle Onion said about blackbirds? Said Pampas. If they have their tails down, it means... Oh, I see why. The water runs off and they stay dry. Uncle Onion and all of them were right, admitted Pampas reluctantly. Now Delphinium's cake will be ruined. How am I going to keep it dry? Then he had a bright idea. I know, I'll copy the birds, said Pampas. It works. Now the rain's running off my hair and keeping the cake dry. But it was only a short shower, and soon Pampas was joined by his friends. We told you it would rain, said Uncle Onion angrily. You should have listened to the old sayings. Then our cake would not have spoiled, cried Berry. But it's not spoiled, said Pampas proudly. It's as dry as a bone. I learned from the blackbird's tail, and I did the same with my hair, like this, and kept the cake dry. Well done, Pampas, cried Butterbur. And what's more, laughed Pampas, I've made up my own old saying. When it's fair, brush up your hair. And when it's rain, brush it down again. And you know what? Said Pampas. It really is going to be a perfect day for a picnic. What is that, Pampas? Well, it's obvious. The daisies are opening and the swallows are flying high. Oh, Pampas, you're impossible, chuckled Butterbur. All the Windfall scenes and characters have been created from real grasses, leaves and flowers.